8:44, and we are following our tropical system that is sending rain from south to north across our viewing area. It's been fairly steady in the south so far this morning. It's been on and off, kind of scattered showers from the Triangle area southward. We haven't really seen much rain near the Virginia line yet, but starting to see a sprinkle or two up toward the I-85 corridor. Let's zoom in and talk a little bit more about what we're seeing. Some showers in Apex, Fuquay, Varina, Anger, Wendell, Clayton, Wilson's Mills. A little sprinkle came through Chapel Hill just a little while ago, but it's definitely been steadier to our south from Fayetteville to Hope Mills, to Coates to Dunn to Goldsboro to Clinton. A little bit of rain starting to work into Wilson at this point as well. We're going to see that rain lifting northward as we get through the afternoon, and it'll be more widespread and heavier. So we do have a flood watch that's in effect through tomorrow morning. We could see 2 to 5 inches of rain and the potential for some isolated tornadoes in our eastern counties. Also some wind gusts 20 to 40. Our flood watch again 2 to 5 inches. Some of the heavier totals down south from the Triangle area northward. It's going to be more like the 1.5 to 2 inch totals. Of course, typically with a tropical system, we do have the potential for isolated tornadoes, and that chance would be greatest in our eastern counties. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is here to talk a little bit more about why we see these with tropical systems.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with some of the friction that comes with a system that comes on land, and it's especially that eastern side of a tropical system that has more rising motion, more moisture as well. So in the red there, that's your rain, that's your wind, and that's your potential for some isolated tornadoes. I do want to point out that this is not going to be a repeat of Debbie. What I've done, though, is plotted the surface wind in the white and the wind at the 3,000 foot level in the red. Let's give you a 3D view of that, and you can see how the surface wind is from the northeast, but the wind just above is from the east. So right away, there's just a little bit of spin. So if there's a thunderstorm that can grow tall enough and tap into that spin, you could have some tornado warnings maybe later in the day. This is a look at the hour-by-hour spin in the atmosphere, and you see that it starts to go up a little bit as we head especially into the evening. So that's really going to be the time frame that we keep an eye on. If a watch is issued, it means that a tornado is possible. If a warning is issued, that is when we are going with continuous coverage right here on WRAL. But really, regardless of a name with this storm, impacts are the same, one of which is some of that heavy rain, Elizabeth, that you're tracking along the coast this morning.
Yeah, thanks for that explanation. I know a lot of folks wonder, why do we see these tornadoes with these systems? Of course, that system is spinning off the coast here, moving really onshore just north of Charleston right now. You can see as we remove that low, you can see the center of circulation. And with that center of circulation coming onshore, it is highly unlikely that this storm is actually going to get a name. It's probably going to just continue to be a potential tropical cyclone. You can see the heaviest rain with this is going to be from, say, our southern counties all the way toward the coast, and then we'll see some of this heavier rain spreading farther inland. But for sure, the heaviest rain is going to be along the South Carolina line, much more so than what we'll see as it travels northward. So right now it's 85 miles south of Cape Fear, which is right around the Wilmington area, winds at 50 miles per hour, and this one is crawling along. It's only moving at about 3 miles per hour, but very slowly it moves inland toward the mountains, and will continue to spread rain inland as we get through the next 24 really to 36 hours. Here's lunchtime, some of that heavier rain moving on through, but you know how tropical systems are. They tend to come in waves with the rain coming through, and so we're just going to see waves of heavy rain on and off, especially for our southern counties. 3 to 5 inches in the south from the Triangle area northward. It's going to be more like 1 to 2 inches. And of course, we'll also have some gusty winds at about 20 to 25, except closer to the South Carolina line could be more like 40-mile-per-hour gusts. We continue with a chance for showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, even after the tropical system departs. We don't really start to dry out until the weekend. Like, no, Carolina. Yeah, all right, we'll talk about that coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. It is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. With that in mind, let's get right to meteorologist Chris Michaels, tracking these wet conditions headed our way.
Hey there, guys. Good morning. Yeah, and you can see that the rain is gradually becoming a little more widespread on dual Doppler 5000, with some of the heaviest rain just off toward the south, moving into Sampson and Cumberland counties. I'm going to step off screen so I can manually fix our graphics here because the clicker's not working, but I do want to walk you through what is going on while you guys can pay attention to the big monitor right there. So let's dive into Wake County, and you see a live look at Raleigh outside of the Natural Science Museum, but some of the more steady rain is moving into areas just south of the Beltline this morning. Meanwhile, some gusty wind continues. Look at that, Bald Head Island, 45-mile-per-hour wind gust so far this morning, 25-mile-per-hour gust in Charleston, South Carolina. Meanwhile, at the airport, the gust just reached 21 miles per hour. Flood watch is in effect until tomorrow morning. Level 1 risk of a tornado east of the Triangle, with the worst of our rain and wind that coming in after midday. Let's go ahead and show you that hour by hour. About 50% of the area seeing rain right now. That's going to jump to about 90% as we head deeper into the afternoon. That afternoon commute is going to be a little bit rougher than the morning commute was. There you see brand new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center shows a higher threat of a tornado east of the area this evening, with that level 1 risk in effect for parts of our area. Futurecast coming your way in just a bit.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we have an opportunity to combine our traffic live sensors with the dual Doppler 5000. And one of the things we're watching for this morning are power outages. Let's get right to WRAL's Laura Levine. You're in this WRAL storm tracker this morning. You just arrived and seen where there are some power outages around Timber Drive.
Hey, Ken, yes, right now we are parked here in the storm tracker on Timber Drive, where you can see utility crews working to restore power. We know at least 100 customers are without power. There we go. That's a better shot. Within this area, I hopped out of the storm tracker really quickly before you tossed me just to ask these guys about a tree that was down here in the area. And they did tell me that they cleared a tree within the past 15 minutes. It was a smaller tree, but again, causing some outages in this area. This section of Timber Drive is closed. They have some signs up and cones up in this area so people can allow them to work, making sure drivers do not enter this area. But they do tell me right now they're still working to clear some down power lines, telephone lines. That is what they're actively doing. You can see them in the trucks right now. So we'll keep you updated on the restoration efforts here, but this is what we can expect to see throughout the day as that weather continues to pick up throughout the morning and throughout the day. Back to you.
Laura Levine reporting there on Timber Drive with those power company crews trying to restore that power. We got a couple of things that we want to bring attention to, especially if you're getting a later start to your morning. This crash on Durham Freeway near Cornwallis Road. Right now, it's not causing any problems in that particular area, but you might want to watch for some police activity. Elsewhere around the Triangle and surrounding communities, the Beltline traffic has definitely dissipated in terms of the congestion that we usually see this time of the morning, which is good news, especially if you're getting ready to head out. Look at some of the delay times coming into the capital city. A real trouble spot this morning, really, and that's not even a trouble spot. You're just looking at a 3-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest this morning. And over in Durham, here's what we're looking at. Very little to no delays heading into the Bull City this morning.
All right, thanks, Ken. Emergency management teams are prepared for possible effects from the storm system. Just a month ago, Tropical Storm Debbie brought strong winds and heavy rainfall. That storm caused flooding and power outages. Duke Energy expects some areas to lose power again in this storm. It doesn't plan to bring in extra teams to respond, but will move the teams currently ready to areas that need it most. And WRAL will closely monitor this system. We'll bring you live reports from the Triangle to the coast today and keep you updated on the threat of flooding and other potential effects, and bring you important information to keep you and your family informed and safe.